Greetings YouTube, this is Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001, bringing you the final part of the CPKStudios commission, Chaos Zero. Bad guy from Sonic Adventure, Guardian Deity, made of water, awesomeness. So the base figure for Chaos Zero is the 3-inch Sonic the Werehog. This was I put a lot of thought into this and discussed it with some of my friends. And the idea did come up to use the transparent blue variant of Sonic that came in the Knuckles 2-pack. But, you know, Sonic's proportions are nothing like Chaos's, and anything that I would sculpt wouldn't be transparent either, so I figured it would just be better to match the shape of the body over the, you know, transparency of it. So basically what I did was I removed the head and feet because they don't match the shape and would be unnecessary for the custom. Although looking at the Werehog's elongated snout, this would probably be the head I'd use if I were to make any Knack the Weasels in the future. So I molded Chaos's big 3-fingered hands over the Werehog fists. They aren't articulated or removable, so I figured I could just cover them. This is my first experiment with Super Sculpey, rather than the Bacon Bend Sculpey that I normally used, and I gotta say, I'm wondering why I never used this stuff before. It is so great. It feels virtually indestructible when I use it, and you can paint it, and the paint doesn't get sticky. It's awesome! I love this clay! In fact, the only notable flaw with Super Sculpey is that it only comes in this one color, which is like a neutral Caucasian skin tone kind of thing. So that means that it's a good thing paint doesn't get sticky when I use it because I have to paint it. Whereas the Polymer Sculpey at least comes in a color palette, so there's a certain degree of not having to paint that I can do. So anyway, here's the feet and tail. Chaos has that little knobby tail-like thing coming out of his butt, I don't know. I would later fill in the ankles with a little bit of hot glue so that you wouldn't have this really skinny leg coming out of a really, really tall, big, gigantic, bulbousy, two-toed foot thing going on. Ha. Another thing about this Super Sculpey, when I said that it feels really indestructible, that's because I freaking abused the stuff while I was working on it. When I made the feet and this head here, I had to drill holes so that the Werehog's pegs would be able to go into it after it was cured. And, well, I had to take my Dremel and literally drill holes into it. And I put terrifying pressures on this and torsions of scary degrees, and I made a neat little hole without causing any cracks or deformations in parts of the clay that I didn't want to damage. So yeah, this stuff is practically like stone, although it still has that somewhat plasticky texture. So it's not completely like ceramic. Alright, enough gushing about the quality of the clay. Let's talk about what I did to make the head. As you can see, he seems to be lacking a forehead. As you can see here, there's a little pink brain, which I sculpted separately, which I would put in that recess in the middle of his head. This would create the hallmark visible brain structure that Chaos Zero is so famous for. I figured if I couldn't make a completely transparent Chaos, I could at least make sure that his brain would be visible inside, which is a rather important trick. So yeah, the completed effect is, well, essentially a transparent forehead with the pink brain showing through. There's a bit of a magnification effect due to the fact that it's a curved surface, so it does act somewhat like a lens. But yeah, the effect that I wished for is basically there. You have Chaos's forehead, and you have a brain that you can see inside of his forehead. And I think it pulled off. But yeah, the eyes are the only part that I use my new Testors paints on. I figured the gloss of the Testors would enhance the shiny look of his eyes, while the duller color of the Anitas would look better for the water. Also because I don't have any light blue testors. But yes, that is Chaos's head. Let's look at the completed body, shall we? So pulling back and getting the complete picture, you can see why I just had to use the werehog body to make this. Because clearly looking at it, you would see that I would never have been able to replicate this body frame with this level of articulation had I used a much skinnier Sonic figure. So, despite not being transparent, he still looks like, you know, Chaos, the water demon. And yeah, he stands really well, and aside from the fact that he occasionally overpowers his own knee joints with his weight, if you put his arms too far forward, he can still look pretty freaking scary and menacing. And I'm sitting in my chair, waving my arms around like a monster, like an idiot, because I'm only recording my voice and you can't see me. I think I'm getting too much into this. Okay, so this has been Chaos Zero, and this is Wake Angel 2001, Toy Customizer Extraordinaire, signing off.